Hey everyone. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in today. There's some things that the Lord's wanting me to share with you, and I know that if He's wanting me to share it, that it's not just for me, that it's going to help many. But I'm going to talk a little bit about my testimony up to this point, and I'm going to share with you what God has done up to this point because, well, He's saying to, okay? So with that being said, as many of you may know, it's on my channel like many videos ago, when the channel was a little bit newer. I did recently go through a divorce back in July. My husband said that he wanted a divorce. Fast forward to August, the divorce was final, and the divorce left me with nothing, okay? Like I was, I had to, it left me with nothing. So anyways, but it's God is good and He is our provider. He is our source. Well, I move in with my family because obviously I had to get back on my feet. I had to job hunt. I had to do some things that, I had a lot that I had to get done. But anyways, my point in saying that is that it made it seem as if I would be there for a long time. My circumstances said that I wasn't moving anytime soon, okay? But the Lord had put in my spirit that I wasn't going to be there long, okay? And even though I knew that I wasn't going to be there long because I was feeling it in my spirit, I didn't necessarily, I didn't know where the Lord was going to take me. I just knew that I was not going to be there long and that He would be moving me. Well, anyways, the Lord had eventually started being more specific and telling me that I was going to be moving out of state. And I'm thinking to myself, do what? I mean, I have family in other states other than my home state, but it wasn't any of those states. This was a state that, and I'm not going to put it out there just because, I like to keep things private. But anyways, as far as my location goes. But anyways, the Lord said that I was going to be moving out of state. And I'm thinking, and He told me what state, okay? I knew what state He was saying. And I'm like, Lord, is this Satan? like, what is going on is what I'm really thinking, I'm just like, how does that even make sense, right? And I've done videos on that in the past. Like, y'all have seen me make videos, if you've watched them, saying, when God tells you to do something that literally makes no sense. And it's like, okay, Lord, if this is your will, so be it. Your will be done. And I had to surrender it to Him. I said, God, if this is what you're wanting, then I want it too. But this isn't what I would have chosen for myself. But if this is what you're wanting, God, I prayed and I said, because I have been through so many things. Listen, y'all, my first marriage ended in suicide. My second marriage, I divorced him. My third marriage, he divorced me, okay? Doing it my way gets me in the same spot every single time, okay? Every single time. And, it finally just brought me to the end of myself to where I was like, God, I'm sick of this. I said, I'm sick of my own way, God. It's your way or nothing at this point in my life, but it's no longer my way because I obviously don't know what the heck I'm doing. God, His way is better. His way does not get us in the same spot every time. His way will prosper you. His way will take you forward. His way brings life. Our way doesn't, even when we think that we know, when we know it all. When you think you know it all, it only goes to show you know nothing at all, okay? So anyways, I started praying harder and harder, saying, God, your will be done, even though this is not what I would have expected or thought, chosen for myself. But God, your will be done. I said, but Lord, you still hadn't told me where, okay? Like, you still have not told me where to go. I just know what state, but that could be anywhere, So anyways, as I continued on in that season, okay, of just prayer and fasting and just a lot, the Lord finally, okay, He still actually hadn't said anything, okay? Now, understand that my circumstances, and that's the reason I said it, that marriage left me with nothing, okay? Nothing. And it looked as if I would be living with my family for quite some time. So not only did what God was saying to do make no sense, but financially it was not feasible. It was not practical. But the word, what does it say? That he will equip you for his will. Okay? Y'all, my blanket right here, it's just, I'm sorry, like, I'm just sitting here, I'm in the most awkward spot because I did just move in. So, yeah, I don't really have a setup yet for doing these videos, but I'll get there. Anyways, not only did it not make sense, but it was also something that financially was not doable. But the word says that he will equip you for his will. That's what the word says. So I had to stand on that. And I still didn't know where in the state that I was going. But you know, guys, I had to make a decision because faith without works is dead. Okay? And you cannot please God. You cannot please God without faith. Okay? So I had to make a decision. I had to make sure I didn't lose my place. I had to make a decision to basically just get my feet wet. Just jump in. Because, and what I mean by that, because faith without works is dead. So I woke up one morning and I made a decision for myself. I said, you know, I don't know where you want me to go, but I'm not just going to sit here on my butt and not act on what you're saying to do. So I'm going to drive, okay? And as I drive, I'm just going to head that way. And as I do, I know that you will lead me because I'm stepping out in faith, even though I don't even know where I'm going. That is the point that I come to. I said, I don't know where I'm going, but you do. I said, so whether I drive to that today and I make it to that destination or whether I just get to a certain point, you see my heart in this, God. Sometimes you have to get your feet wet. Sometimes you just have to jump in and do something, even if you don't know what the heck you're doing. Okay? Because God looks at the heart. And it's the faith that you show that moves the hand of God. Okay? So that's what I did. I got in my car and I just started driving. Just headed in that direction. And I kid you not, as I did, the Lord showed me where I was going. It was not just as simple as, oh, I think this is it. This is the place. Yeah, this is it. No, actually, it was the last place that I would have even thought that I would have, if I was going to choose to go to that state, it was like, that wouldn't even cross my mind, guys. I wouldn't have even considered it. But that's what God does. God will take you some places just to see if you're going to be obedient. And let me tell you something. Has it not turned out beautiful? Y'all, it has turned out better than I would have literally ever expected. But I'll get there. I'll get there. I need to take this step for step to give y'all the full testimony that God has told me to give. So anyways, I got in my car and I went. And God did exactly what I knew he would do. As I went on that trip, let me tell you, he spoke. He spoke. And he set an entire situation up to open a door for me to be able to basically find the place that he was going to open the door for me to move into. Just, oh my God, y'all. Long story short, you know, God will, when you are walking in his will, he will open the right doors. He will also give you the right alignments, guys. Like, he will align you with the right people. He will align you with the right places, with the right things. When you are doing his will, he will align you and open the right doors to the right people, the right places, the right things, put you in the right spot at the right moment. Divine setups, guys, and that's exactly what he did. That is exactly what he did. Long story short, that happened, and it opened the door for me. I'm talking like the Lord had already showed me where I was going to be moving at this point, to the city that I was going to be moving to. He opens the right doors, aligns me with the right people. God will use people, so will Satan. But when God is already speaking to your heart and already speaking it to your spirit, then that person is then only going to confirm what God has already said. Well, anyways, I could not afford to make that move. I could not afford to apply to rent. I could not afford, guys, I could not afford to do any of that. Okay? I'm talking none of it. People started sowing into me that didn't even know what was going on. I'm talking random people that had no clue of the situation. The Lord started literally, every penny of what He called me to do, He paid for. Guys, I was not asking people for that. I was not saying, hey, I need this much money. No. What I was doing stayed between me and God. And that's how it needs to be. When you set out to do something that God has called you to do, you don't tell people around you, hey, this is what God's calling me to do, this, and that. Listen, no. You keep it to yourself and you only speak to who He allows you to speak to on it. The Lord started pouring into me as far as the finances were needed. There was not a penny of it that I even had to pay for, but it's because I stepped out in faith. Because I stepped out in faith, God did the rest, and He equipped me for His will. He equipped me with the finances. He equipped me with the open doors and the approvals and the things that I needed. Okay? So anyways, I go back home, and at this point I waited out in order for my moving day, and I moved. Listen to me, the day that I moved to, and I just got here Friday, so I've not even been here a full week. I'm talking to, there has not been anything that has not been provided. God has made a way for everything. Whether it be finances, whether it be money, that is finances, but whether it be money, whether it be food, whether it be, I'm talking down to the detail where there was a need, it was met. Not one time did I have to ask. Not one time did I have to do without. Not one time, and I wouldn't have asked. Because I know where my source is. I have steadily done my part in applying for jobs. I have steadily done my part, and God sees that I am. I have not gotten a job yet. I have not done those things yet. But God is my source. If He tells you to do something, you don't have to have the money in your account, because He will give you manna. And manna comes in many forms, whether it be money, whether it be through a different route. Maybe it'll be through an open door. Maybe it'll be through a closed door. Maybe it doesn't matter. He will send manna when you are walking out His will. Guys, let me tell you something. The Lord is opening doors left and right as I apply for these jobs. And I believe I know where I'm headed, but God could do a total U-turn on me, and that's okay. Because when the right door opens, it will happen, okay? When the time comes, in His divine time, I have said it before and I will say it again, not my will be done any longer. I don't want things to go my way. I want them to go His way. His way. His way. So at the right moment, in the right time, the Lord will open the door for my job. The Lord has made a way financially, even up to this point, and He will continue as I work at looking for jobs and doing my part, okay? So anyways, I just want to explain that if God has told you to do something, you don't have to. I could have been working, but I had to leave my homeland I had to leave my hometown where I could have been working in order to go to a foreign place where then I had to start all over looking for jobs. You see what I'm saying? But it doesn't matter, because when God says go, He will make a way and He will provide. You will not be without. You will not do without. If God says do it, do it. Listen, up to this very moment in time, I have the most beautiful place. He gave me the desire of my heart as far as a place to rent. He gave me, I'm talking to the color of the walls. I'm talking the whole 9 yards. The floors, the walls, I'm talking every room, everything. Guys, he didn't just make me he didn't send his daughter to somewhere where she'd have to settle. Because when God is in it, he makes your cup overflow. He presses it down, shakes it up to where there is no more room in that cup and it is still overflowing. That's what God does. When he is in it, he gives you his best. Our Father is not broke. Okay? And in this, let me tell you, tithing matters. Tithing matters. If you have to tithe in tears, you do it. I have had to tithe in tears through this. I have had to tithe knowing that if I tithe, and then, bills come after that. Bills come after the tithes. And if I tithe, and then my bills get paid after that, I'm left with nothing, but yet God has still sent manna. Manna's not always going to be in one way only. Like, it's not always going to be the Lord sending money. Sometimes it will be the Lord just providing that need. It has come through the most random ways. But there has not been one need that has been unmet. And I know that there won't be, because I trust my Father. Okay? So what I'm getting at is understand that if God says go, you go. I'm going to read from the word real quick. I'm going to talk to you about Abraham when God told Abraham to do the exact same thing. Okay? Promises to Abraham. Okay? Now the Lord has said to Abraham, get out of your country. There it is. What you are used to. Your homeland. From your family. Hang on. Hold on. Okay. And from your father's house. Guys, I was living with my family. Get out of your country, from your family, from your father's house, to a land that I will show you. I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you. And make your name great. And you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse them who curses you. And in you all of the families of the earth shall be blessed. Okay? Now, it says next, so Abraham departed, and he went. Okay? And he went. And the Lord said, he was literally saying, the Lord said later on, he says, then the Lord appeared to Abraham and said, to your descendants I will give this land. And there he built an altar to the Lord who had appeared to him. And he moved from there to a mountain east of Bethel, and it continues. Guys, Abraham was obedient. He was obedient. And he did exactly what God said to do. Go read the story for yourself. And the Lord said, your descendants will inherit this land due to your obedience. Guys, due to your obedience, your blessings are on the other side of your obedience. I've said it before, and I will continue to say that. Walk it out. Ride it out. If God says to do it, be obedient, or don't. But don't expect the goodness of God and the promises to play out in your life if you're not obeying the Lord. So I just wanted to share this testimony with you. And I will continue to share things of my testimony as God continues to provide, as doors continue to open, as manna continues to come. But guys, if God has told you to do something, whether it's move or whether it's something totally different, but you're thinking this makes no sense and surely this isn't God, your spirit knows when it's the Lord. But sometimes we just don't want it to be Him because it's not our way. Do what God has told you to do. Your blessings are on the other side of your obedience, but it's also bigger than that. It's also bigger than you. It also comes down to simply obeying God because it's bigger than you. He's going to use you. He's going to do things in you, through you, and it's Him that is going to come from your obedience. At the end of the day, guys, it's about saving souls. But the Lord will bless you in it because you are His. The Bible says that we are to be the lenders, not the borrowers. Start tithing. Start being obedient with your finances. Be obedient with the things He's told you to do in life. Okay? I should have released this word sooner, but I put it off and I procrastinated. Listen, if the Lord has given you a place of ministry, don't procrastinate. If He has given you a platform, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Facebook, whether it be, and the Lord puts things on your heart, or whether it be in some other way, don't procrastinate on those words, because then you have to repent, as I've had to do. Don't do it. Say what God gives you to say. Say what God gives you to say. Do what God tells you to do. Go where God tells you to go. Be His vessel so that He can fill you and use you and work through you. Because it's not about you. But He will always provide for His own. He will always, if He will take care of the birds of the sky, how much more will He take care of you? Don't despise small beginnings, guys. But also, be obedient. You can trust your Father. You can trust Him. You guys have a wonderful day, and we will talk soon.